Welcome back to the Keystone Fly Fisher. Today we're going to be tying the dry fly, the red tag. This fly can be tied in hook sizes 10 through 16, and the materials we're going to use today are red wool for the tail, Peacock Herl for the body, Hackle is going to be red-brown cock hackle, and the thread is going to be black or brown. I personally use uni thread in an 8/0 and dark brown. On the screen, this is what the finished fly is going to look like by the time we're done. So let's go ahead and get into it here. The hook we're tying on today is a Fulling Mill standard dry fly hook in a size 14. Go ahead and get this adjusted to get it more flat here. There we go. So we're going to start with our thread behind the eye of the hook, and we're going to work it back to about the halfway point, and that's where we're going to break off our tag end. And we're going to work this thread back until we get to just a little bit past the point of the hook, or otherwise known as the spear of the hook. And we're going to go ahead and wax the thread, and we're going to get the material to tie in our tail. And this is going to be the red wool. For my fly today, I'm going to tie using fluorescent orange. The reason for that is because I just simply don't have red. So now this material likes to move quite a bit, so really nice tight pinch wraps to start things off. Keep it on top of the hook, don't let it move, then start building up your thread going back. Like that. And I'm going to work back up to the front here. Again, nice tight even wraps going forward. And we're going to cut off this excess here. And when we cut this, we want to be at an angle. That'll reduce the bulk in the body of the fly here. So go ahead and cover up here, and then again, we're going to keep going forward. Nice tight even wraps. Okay, then we're going to work it back so that way we can tie in the Peacock Herl for the body. We have a couple of strays here, so we'll go ahead and cut those out. Okay, I'm going to wax the thread here and make sure we move back where we need to be. And for the Peacock Herl, I always cut off the tips because it's pretty fragile, and you don't want this to break whenever you're tying it in and then you start making your wraps forward. So go ahead and get the Peacock Herls tied down. And we're going to work this up to where we stopped at the front here. Go ahead and clean this up a little bit here. Watch you don't cut your thread on the other side. Take your two strands. When you wrap this, you don't want it to be tight, you just want it to be snug. If you pull too much, these will break. Again, Peacock Herl is very fragile. We're just going to make sure that it's nice, tight, even segmented wraps. Okay, make sure you leave yourself enough room to tie in the hackle. And 3 wraps crisscross on each side. Go ahead and cut off the excess. Okay, Now we're going to tie in the hackle feather. So use a little bit of wax here. We're going to go back just a little bit. And when you're tying in the hackle, you want to make sure that your thread base where you're tying it in is flat. The flatter that is, the better the hackle is going to lay. So we're going to tie in using the crisscross method. Okay. And then what I like to do, we have the stem, is I like to move that stem and bend it forward and then tie it in, and you want it to stay on the side of the hook shank. So that way, again, it stays flat, so you have a nice surface to wrap your hackle on here. So go ahead and move that down and get some nice clean wraps. Tie that in, and now we're going to snip off the stem. Okay, so now we're going to take our hackle and we're going to tie it in. Moving everything forward. Nice, tight, even wraps. Okay. And go ahead and get our thread to wrap around there. And to any of you seasoned vets watching this, I know you know I cheated here. But hey, what can I say? It's for YouTube. Want to make it look nice. Go ahead and trim that off. Okay. Then we're going to pull back. We're going to get right behind the eye of the hook. Build up a nice thread base for the head. Okay. Grab our whip finish here. And for these flies, we're going to do about 4 wraps for the whip finish. Actually, we're going to go 5. Pull that tight. Okay. Move that all back up a little bit here. Now on the back, we're going to cut this tail. There we go. And then what I like to do is whenever I have any stray fibers, I'll grab my tweezers here, and this is all a result of tying in the way that I did, but I'll just pluck those out. Now, this is strictly because it's a fly tying video, so I want stuff to look nice, but the fish, I assure you, do not care. So if you're tying this to fish, by all means, it'll work just fine. Okay, now to finish off the fly, we're going to trim that a little bit. And we're going to get some super glue here. Pull those fibers back. You don't need a lot, you just need a drop. Right on the thread. Try not to get it on the hackle if you can help it. And I know it's on the hook eye. I'll clean that up here in a second. So make sure it gets into those threads good. Then clean out the hook eye. We'll take the bodkin. Make sure it opens things up nice. And then just to double check, something that I always do with my flies, whenever I'm done tying, I grab some fishing line, and then I'll feed it through, make sure everything's good. And I usually use like a 2X or a 3X for that because it's thicker, so if it can feed through, your tippet's going to be a lot smaller than that. But yeah, so there's the red tag fly. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or want to know anything else about the fly, leave it in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.